Hair growth. It's a topic that's just full of myths and so-called magic cures, right? But what does the science actually say? Well, today we're going to cut through all that noise and give you a clear step-by-step guide based on real expert advice. Let's jump right in.
So, let's get right to it. The elephant in the room. Can you actually regrow hair you've lost? The answer, isn't a simple yes or no. It really all starts with understanding what we're working with in the first place.
Okay, this is probably the most important thing to get right from the very beginning. Regrowth is possible, but, and this is a big but, only if you can still see those super fine, almost invisible baby hairs. They're called vellus hairs. And if you see them, that's great news. It means the hair follicle is still alive. It's just, well, it's weakened. Our goal here isn't to create brand new follicles out of thin air, but to bring these sleeping ones back to life.
To get this done, we're going to think of it like building a pyramid of intervention. And at the very bottom, the absolute foundation of everything is your internal health. Seriously, before we even think about touching a single product, we've got to get this part right. Think about it. Your hair follicles are like tiny little organs, and they need fuel to work. The source points to 3 critical nutrients: vitamin B12, which is essential for making red blood cells that carry oxygen to your scalp, vitamin D, which actually helps create new follicles, and folic acid, which is a big deal for cell growth. If you're low on any of these, it can be a major roadblock. Now, this is interesting. It's not just about getting vitamin D. The advice is for 10 to 15 minutes of morning sun. Why the morning? Because that specific light entering your eyes helps regulate your hormones like cortisol and melatonin. You're basically hitting the reset button on your body's internal clock, which, believe it or not, has a huge impact on everything, including your hair. And to finish off our foundation, we need to get the blood flowing. Just 10 to 15 minutes of aerobic exercise, enough to get your heart rate up into that 135 to 140 beats per minute range, is like opening up a superhighway for all those nutrients to get delivered right to your scalp. Okay, so we've built a solid foundation. Now we can move up the pyramid to the next level, your at-home toolkit. These are the solutions you can apply directly to your scalp to really start supercharging your results. You might see this on the shelf and just think, oh, that's for dandruff. But this stuff is a seriously powerful tool for hair regrowth. It helps balance the whole ecosystem on your scalp, and for guys, it can even help block DHT. That's the hormone that's a major driver of male pattern baldness. Pro tip, you have to leave it on for a good 6 to 8 minutes to really let it do its job. So let's talk about minoxidil versus peptide serums. The easiest way to think about it is this. Minoxidil is kind of like a temporary fix. It opens up the blood vessels to feed your hair, but as soon as you stop using it, that road closes again. Peptide serums, on the other hand, are more like a personal trainer for your hair follicles. They actually wake up the stem cells, encouraging them to grow stronger on their own. The results are just more sustainable for the long haul. All right, for all my DIY fans out there, here is a really potent antioxidant oil. Amla, coffee, and green tea are just packed with nutrients that can protect and stimulate your hair follicles. But, and listen up, because this is the most important part, the process is everything. You absolutely must use a thermometer. If you go above 60 degrees Celsius, you're basically cooking away all the good stuff. This has to be a gentle infusion, not a deep fry. And here we are at the top of our pyramid. If you've got your foundation set, you're using your at-home toolkit, but you still want to take it to the next level, well, these advanced treatments are for you. We're talking high-tech devices and clinical options. Okay, buyer beware when it comes to so-called laser caps. A lot of them are really just glorified red LED lights. A true laser delivers a focused, targeted beam of light. So here's a simple test you can do. Shine it on a surface. If you see a sharp, precise dot, that's a real laser. If you just see a blurry glow, it's just an LED, and it is not going to give you the same results. Don't be fooled by how simple this little tool looks. The Derma Roller is an absolute game changer, and the 1.5 millimeter size is really the sweet spot. It's so versatile because you can use it with light pressure for daily stimulation, or you can go a little deeper once a week for a more intense treatment, all with the exact same tool. So you've basically got 2 options here. You can go for a gentle daily stimulation, no pain, just a light tingle, or you can choose a more intense weekly session where you apply enough pressure to cause what's called pinpoint bleeding. Now that sounds intense, but it actually kickstarts a really powerful healing response in your scalp. All right,
This is incredibly important, so please pay attention. A derma roller creates these tiny microchannels in your scalp, which totally supercharges the absorption of anything you put on it afterwards. If you use minoxidil right after rolling, you could overwhelm your system and develop a permanent allergy. The rule is simple: wait at least 6 hours. No exceptions. Now, for those who are looking for a major clinical boost, there's PRP and GFC. Both of them use the healing power of your own blood. With PRP, your platelets are injected directly. But with GFC, the growth factors are actually extracted first, and then that concentrate is injected. The idea is that you get a more concentrated, evenly distributed dose of all the good stuff for a potentially more powerful result.
So there you have it, our complete pyramid of intervention. We've gone through everything from simple lifestyle habits all the way up to high-tech clinical treatments. So now let's talk about how to actually make this work for you. Here's the bottom line, okay? Don't go looking for a single miracle cure. Think of this whole thing like tending a garden. You need the right soil, that's your internal health. You need the right fertilizer, that's your at-home toolkit. And maybe you need some advanced gardening tools. But consistency is everything. You can't just water a plant one time and expect it to thrive.
The roadmap is all laid out for you. You've got the tools, you've got the science. So now it's your turn. Which of these tools will you commit to first? Your hair regrowth journey starts right now.